Today's episode was brought to you by Interior Designs by Stephen G.
For women, success is an entirely different game. Our goals are huge, and so are our responsibilities. There is work and there is play, health, friendships, and romance. The question is, how do you call all the shots and never lose sight on what it means to be a woman? Each week, Elena Cardone and Katrina Campins bring you topics, discussions, and tips with women in power who are going for it all and making it happen.
Welcome to another episode of Women in Power. We are on the journey navigating what it means to be a modern day woman. And we are here, I should say, with Elena Cardone and myself, Katrina Campins. Follow us on Twitter at Elena Cardone, at Katrina Campins, and call us today and let us know your thoughts, because today is going to be a very exciting topic. Our number is 305-865-8668. That's 305-865-8668. So tell me.
Well, okay, so today, this past week, I went to a luncheon with a bunch of girlfriends, and I always love these luncheons because, well, for a number of reasons. One, I love like being around girls, and you get to talk about girly things. Like, there's so many times when I go up to Grant and I'm like, my God, I wish you were a girl, like, so I could just tell you, like, there's this guy, for instance, there's this guy in my building, and he's like cute, and like, and he's not with all these women. Like, I never see him with different girls, and he drives a nice car, and he wears nice suits, and I see him going places, and I'm dying to set him up with somebody, but I don't even know him, you know. Well, I finally started talking to him, and and I finally, like, you know, made my first like move of like, so what's the deal, you know, because you seem like a cool guy. And he was like very appreciative. He's like, oh, thanks, you know. Anyway, well, I came home and I was dying to tell Grant about it, and he doesn't want to hear about this, like me wanting to go matchmaking, you know. So that's why I really enjoyed the girl luncheon, just so I can be a girl. We can talk shoes and dresses and other things. But I came across the situation where I asked one of the ladies, you know, I'm like, oh, you and your husband are so cute together. And she kind of gives me this look, and I was like, uh-oh, like, and she was like, oh, you know, and it's not going so well. And she's going to go spend her 40th birthday with her girlfriends out of town on her weekend. And she was like, I've earned it. He needs to stay home. And I was thinking, gosh, on my 40th birthday, like, I just wanted to be with Grant in this big thing. And then it got me to thinking, like, the group of girls that she's hanging out with right now are either going through divorce or they're single. And so it got me to thinking, like, could the girlfriends
be influencing?
Yes. Could girlfriends actually be damaging the relationship a little bit? Like, and just the mere fact that you're going out with them all the time and the husband's staying home, and that's got to take a toll.
Well, I'm a firm believer that your relationship with your husband should be with your husband. There's no need for outside chatter. It's none of their business. And if you have something that you want to discuss, you should talk to your husband about it. I'm a firm believer that I think friendships a lot of times interfere in that. And I think in this day and age, so many women are so quick to post everything about their relationship. And when I see that, I don't think, oh, how sweet. I think, wow, she's really dying for validation from the outside. Why doesn't she keep the sacred within the marriage or within the relationship? And that's why I'm very protective. And women write to me all the time, like, why don't you post more pictures of your relationship with your husband? I'm like, that's none of your business. It's mine. You know, it's sacred. And so I actually, before we first got married, and I was telling you this, I cut out my best friend, or so I thought she was my best friend, of over 15 years. And it's because this is the one woman, that I thought was going to be so incredibly grateful and happy for me that I found, you know, the man of my dreams, my soulmate. And so she was the first person that I said, come have dinner with us. And when she got there, she was nasty. She got drunk. She called him all kinds of names. Ooh. And he looks at me and he says, this is what you think is a best friend? I have news for you. This woman is so incredibly jealous of you, and you can't even see it, and you're so blind to it. And I honestly defended her.
But was it just a one time? Yeah. Like, no. I mean, everybody's had that one night that they'd rather not remember.
Her true colors came out after the fact, and I felt like such a fool, to be honest with you, because I was in the middle of filming my TV show, Hot Listings Miami, and she was one of the characters in the show. And then when I saw the show being, when it actually aired, the things that she was saying about me in these private interviews, I was honestly flabbergasted.
Who?
And her name's Kelly. I don't even mind telling you who it is, but I cut her out completely out of my life. And to the point where even she would say things about me that are so far from the truth, and she knows that that's not right. So why?
What was she doing it for dramatic TV purposes?
But you don't do that to your best friend.
No, you
And you
don't.
certainly don't make a scene, when your best friend is introducing you to this man that she's about to marry. You don't make, she got so wasted, started making a scene in the middle of the restaurant. We were at Brickell. And it was a bad reflection on me too, because think about it. I'm introducing her to my husband, and my husband thinks that this is my best friend. Well, what does that say about me as a person? And so I just completely cut her out of my life, and it's been much less dramatic since then.
Wow.
So,
but there would be a lot of women who would be like, because if something doesn't work out with the guy, maybe this is your true girlfriend who was always going to be there,
see,
and now you're cutting her out for this man, and girls,
But she showed her true colors. And let's say that something doesn't work out. Why do you need a girlfriend? Why do you need that validation?
You don't need a girlfriend who's talking behind your back, though.
Absolutely.
That goes like.
And I cut out a lot of people out of my life. In my 20s, I was all about.
As a result of marrying the husband?
No. As a result of just getting older. In my 20s, I was all about going out there, and I thought everybody wants what's best for you, and I was giving so much of my energy to people, and people enjoyed it because I made them feel good about themselves. But what I was doing is I was going back with all of these, we call it bad eyes in the Hispanic culture, and also in the Egyptian culture. My husband calls it bad eyes. But you know what? I did it because of myself. And the minute that I started eliminating all of these, I call them energy vampires.
Yes,
too,
I know those. Yes.
My life was just so light, and I got so much more done. Like now, professionally, I'm doing so much more. But anyway, this is a very passionate topic, and we have a lot more to discuss. And I want to get your feelings, because you also cut out a girlfriend of yours when you got married.
I did.
So we're going to talk about
One
this
of my
much
bridesmaids.
more. Oh my God!
Oh,
she was one of my bridesmaids too.
Oh my God! Be forewarned.
Yeah. So cut them all out before you walk down the aisle.
All right. Well, stay tuned. We're coming up right after this message, and stay tuned.
Regardless of your home situation, tax bracket, or way of life, our goal is simple: to improve your quality of life and lower your expenses. With over 30,000 satisfied customers and guaranteed power production for 25 years, it's time to invest in your future. Let's harness the sun together. Visit AmericanVisionSolar.com today. Today's episode was brought to you by John Hamlin and Associates.
New York Times best-selling author and self-made multimillionaire entrepreneur Grant Cardone has partnered with the Hard Rock Hotel to bring you 10X Your Life at the Hard Rock Hotel Cancun. Reward yourself as you play hard at this all-inclusive luxury experience, and you'll work hard participating in See Grant seminars live on November 14th and 15th. These unique seminars were created to help you learn to 10x your finances, 10x your social media, 10x your business, and 10x your life. Visit 10xseminar.com to book your 10x experience now. For rates starting at $463 per night for 3 nights. Seminars, meals, and beverages are included. Stop settling. 10x your finances, reach your dreams, 10x your business, and 10x your life. Take action and go to 10xseminar.com now to book your 10x experience at the Hard Rock Hotel Cancun.
Okay, welcome back to Women in Power with Katrina Campins. I'm Elena Cardone. You just saw an ad for the Hard Rock, the 10X seminar at the Hard Rock Cancun from November 14th through the 16th. If you've been thinking about it and you haven't done it, do it now. And if you don't know anything about it, do it now. Go to 10xseminar.com, book your tickets. It's all inclusive. It's going to be an amazing opportunity to spend with Grant, myself, have a 10x seminar. You better go.
I know. You just told me about it. So what are the dates?
November 14th through the 16th. It's all inclusive. It's at the Hard Rock Cancun. It's an awesome place. It's going to be off the rails. But anyway, good opportunity to bring your husband, your boyfriend, your girlfriends, and just like
make it like a mini vacation.
Vacation / like really knowing how to boost your business at the same time. But anywho, getting back onto the subject of girlfriends.
Yeah, because you were saying that when you first, right? Were you already married to Grant, or right before you got married to Grant, you had to cut out a girlfriend?
No, it was
yours?
right after. It was my maid of honor, and she was like my friend for a long time. And, you know, it was one of those friends where we have been through thick and thin together. And, I mean, you know, all the dramatic times, she's been there for me too. But, you know, when I met Grant, and I had been with him for a year and a half, and then we got married, like, you know, everything mellowed out for me. I wasn't being all dramatic anymore. It was like just new times in my life. But with her, it almost seemed like she had to be even more dramatic, and I would have to test my true loyalty and friendship to her over and over and over again, like go to her rescue. And finally, right after we got married, and it actually concerned me about Grant. I was like, oh, he's not going to be one of those guys that's going to make me get rid of all my friends. I've been warned about those kind of guys, you know, that try to keep you all to themselves. But he was like, I have had it. She came to the house one time, and she was just like sitting like this, and it was always something like, oh, I'm having a sugar high or a sugar rush, or I have this problem and that problem. And he was like, I can't handle it. She's so like depressed all the time, and she doesn't, what is she giving you? How is she enhancing?
Right.
What is the friendship? Like, it's just always you.
And I could see Grant
her.
doing that with his, you know, like 10x. All right, let's analyze this.
Yes, like it was just like, you know, Debbie Downer, you know?
Yeah.
And finally I just, you know, I had to say, look, it's got to stop. You know, the last incident was she's calling me from the hospital saying, you know, she broke her foot and she's having an allergic reaction to the medication, and I race over there, and I get there and it's a broken toe. It's not a broken foot, it's a broken toe.
See, and that to me screams, okay, you're happy now. You found your man, you know, and she's trying to again vie for your attention, but also there's a jealousy there. You know, there's an underlying jealousy there. Why is she so focused on getting you away from Grant? You're creating all of these false dramatic episodes.
I know. It was like, and the doctor was like, no, she hasn't had an allergic reaction. She's like, I feel like I'm gonna throw up, but you know, there's no throw up, there's no reaction, there's just, and you know, whatever. So,
and that's why I believe that honestly, it's just, especially as you get older, you know, I was telling you this, that when I hit 30, I just analyzed it. Okay, what's XYZ person adding to my life? What is this adding to my life? And you start to balance it and you realize, wait a second, I'm giving a lot more than I'm actually getting, and certain people are not making me a better person, so why even have them in my life? And I just was very particular. I wouldn't go to certain events because, you know, especially when you go to certain events, it's great for networking, but your energy just gets sucked. And you know, it's
really? Like,
oh
why?
my God.
What do you mean? Like how?
Like when you go to a networking event, it's like, okay, you're talking to XYZ, and again, I'm Mrs. like positive, everybody wants what's best for you, but I know those people are going back and talking about this or criticizing you about this or that, and it's like, why do you even need that? Why do you even need that? It's better to focus with people that really genuinely care about you, and you know, and
because you have a lot of like celebrity friends in this town. You don't like going to those events, or you've scaled back, or what?
I've scaled back tremendously. You know, I used to hang out with a lot of my celebrity friends and clients and so forth on a day-to-day basis, and I'm still, you know, very close with a lot of them, but I'm closer now to the ones that share a very private life. You know, and one of them, which I won't say her name, but she and I are like this because she respects her private life, even though she's this big star around the world. When we get together, we talk about her daughter and silly things, family things. You never talk about anything else.
And she trusts you.
Exactly. Yeah. And so it's just, I'm just very protective now over who I bring into my energy boundaries, I call them, you know?
Well, I think I'm still a little bit into the, I want to be at all the events. I want to go to all the parties and this and this and this. And then I'm like, why wasn't I invited to that one? I'm still a little into that. But it's interesting because when I do go to those events and I do have fun, but I leave sometimes feeling not so great, and it's hard to put your finger on it, and I think it's because I've either come across, if I really were to sit back and look at it, it's because I've come across somebody who was like actually poking me in such a kind of a nice way with a smile that I couldn't tell. It was kind of an indirect jab, or
And it's funny because a girlfriend of mine who does a lot of the high-end events here in Miami, a lot of the celebrity events, she called me last week and she goes, "What are you doing this week?" And I'm like, "Why?"
Yeah, like,
I want you to come to this event. I go, "Nope, not interested." And it's a very big event here. And she goes, and she's the one putting on the event. I go, "Honestly, I'm just not interested." She goes, "I know what you're talking about, Katrina. It's so fake. I mean, and I get sucked into it." I'm like, "Oh, so now you're trying to suck me into it?" I'm like, "At least you're being honest about it." But she's like, "I know, I have to do it. It's my job, but it's just so fake." And I go, "Yeah, I'm just not interested in it. I'd rather spend that time at home or with friends that actually bring some value and that actually genuinely care about your, you know."
So you're really, really close friends, though. Would you ever talk about a dispute or an argument that you had with your husband?
No. I never talk about anything within my marriage to anybody from the outside. That's between my husband and I, everything. So if there's something that I'm unhappy about or that he's unhappy about, we talk about it. We're very open. I never go to a girlfriend and say, and that's why.
But what if the guy isn't open and then the girl feels they have to go to their girlfriends to kind of figure it out?
That's why men really have to be open, regardless of what it is. Just be honest. Don't keep everything inside. Because my husband and I were actually watching a lot of these reality shows, the Diva show. I don't know if you watch that. It's the WWE. It's like my guilty pleasure. Every Sunday we're like, "Here comes the WWE Diva show."
God.
Like, we're corny that way.
So that's amazing. He watches that show with you.
Oh my God, yeah. He's the one that reminds me, "Hey, it's almost time." So, but then during the commercials, he's like, "Look at these women. They're all sharing each other's problems with each other, and they think that they generally care. They want to really help. No, it's just that's none of their business." And so we talk about that too. He's like, "I'm so glad that we have open communication." So more men need to realize.
Well, it's interesting because Grant and I went on this stint where we watched The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills for a very short amount of time. And it was interesting because after the show, every single time, we eventually clocked it out. Like after we watched the show, about an hour or so later, we get in a bickerment argument. And it's because realize it infiltrates a little bit. And you're like, it kind of gets in there where, well, he should do this for me and he doesn't do that and this and a little bickering. And finally we said, no more. Like this is like, we're not doing it.
Yeah. It's so true, though. TV, even if you're watching a movie, I notice that. But if the couple's arguing about something, then you'll start arguing about that same thing, or you have an opinion about it. Anyway, there's so much more to discuss when we get back after this commercial break. Women in Power.
Hard work demands the highest price. Auto dealers, do you sell your notes? Are you disappointed with your current lender, your price, or your service? If you need capital now, we are the answer. Use our nationwide network of lenders. Trust us with your portfolio. Expedite your cash flow. With over $120 million submitted in 2014, we'll deliver. Dealer Capital Services. Visit mydealercapital.com or call 337-451-6921 today. For over 30 years, international interior designer Stephen G is a world-renowned master of contemporary and traditional high-end design.
To me, lifestyle and comfort is what a great design project is all about.
Interiors by Stephen G has galleries in Florida and New York. With staff fluent in 7 different languages, Interiors by Stephen G offers a full-service experience from construction to completion. Visit Interiors by Stephen G at Facebook or his website, interiorsbystephenG.com. That's interiorsbystephenG.com to get started on bringing your design fantasies to a level beyond your dreams. Visit interiorsbystephenG.com today.
Welcome back to Women in Power. We are discussing your friends actually damaging to your relationship. We want to hear from you. Call 305-865-8668. Let us know what side you're on. I mean, there are some women out there that are diehard, like, look, you do not diss on your friends. Ever. Like, friends first. And that is the motto. You know, and here's the thing. Look, in my 20s, I dated a guy who was horrendous for me. And I was like madly, like crazily in love with him, or so I thought, you know? And my girlfriends, they tried to tell me like, no. And they like, if I would have had the perception back then, they would have been harmful to the relationship because they did not approve. And yet, you know, I was like, took his side more when in hindsight, it should have been the opposite way around.
Yeah. So
you know what I'm saying?
And I'm sure there's instances like that. I think it's a matter of feeling and really understanding, are your friends really right for you? Do they want you to be a better person, or do they feel threatened when you're becoming a better person? Do you feel like you can, you know, conquer the world after you're with them? Do they inspire you to be better or not? And I think also it's important not to post everything on social media.
Totally disagree.
You totally disagree?
Well, not totally, but like I love posting family stuff, and like we don't have like a private thing, but it never gets in the way. So
yeah, but your brand is that. You know, you and Grant have a purpose together. You're striving
we're family.
for certain goals.
We're all about marriage, relationship, support. We want to be a message that, you know, of hope. You know, like when you look at Brad and Angelina, it's like these people are together. You're rooting for them. If they can do it, I can do it. And I kind of want to be one of those people rather than like, you know, we just saw Gone Girl over the weekend.
I heard it's really good. I haven't seen it.
It's really good, but like it gets to the point where you're like, marriage freaking sucks, you know, and like, I mean, it's horrible and it's hard work, and it's easy to have that perception when your friends are like saying, oh, you know, grass is greener on the other side, you know, oh, you could get better. I mean, what kind of friends are you surrounding yourself by?
Right.
You know?
And that's what's so important is who do you. Now I don't want to go see that movie.
No. But that's not the whole premise. I mean, it's actually a very good, interesting David Fincher movie. But
But you would say the biggest takeaways from, you know, and the reason that we did this episode today is what is not.
Yes, it's because my friend, like, you know, I thought her marriage was going pretty well, and I noticed that her very best friends are single or going through a divorce, and they go out all the time. They're going on this trip together for her birthday, and I'm just wondering if and they seem to be a little bitter about guys, you know, and you know, one of the gifts at her birthday, one of the girls gave to her was like, Why Men Love Bitches. That was the book. She's like, you got to read it. It's so great. Have you read it?
I've read it.
Okay, of course you did. Yeah. Is it a good book?
I read that about 5 years ago. Yeah, it's a really good book. I mean, the title's obviously very catchy, but it's a very good book, and I think a lot of it in it is true. It's about respecting yourself. You know, it's about not just giving into everything for a man's, you know, that a man requests. It's a really good book. But it sounds like your friends
it feels like there might be a little man bashing going on. Yeah. And so it made me wonder, like, could some friendships actually be more detrimental because they're going out all the time? And how do you deal with that? I mean, I'm married. Grant will let me go out as much as I want. But if I started going out all the time, I think at some point he'd be like, what's going on here?
Exactly. Yeah.
You know?
And like you said, on your 40th birthday, you would want to spend it with your husband. Like, I can't think of, on my birthday, who I'd want to spend it more than my husband. And so... and I think then when you have kids, I'm sure there's a whole another angle, right? When you then go on play dates, I'm sure the women are talking. I'm sure, that sounds exhausting.
That sounds exhausting. I love those times, but mostly it's kid talk, so get ready.
Okay.
But, okay, so takeaways. Your takeaway, don't post on Facebook about every little thing. Keep your things private.
You can post I'm all about family, and I think everything starts within the home, and I think that's the foundation for our society. So every now and then I'll post a picture, you know, of my husband or my family and so forth, and say that this is what I believe is the foundation. But every day I'm not posting pictures of like us making out, or, I mean, that's not.
Yeah, I understand that.
Super tacky.
And you also kind of believe that even though people have the premise of like they're so happy for you, maybe they're not really.
No.
Okay.
No.
That is interesting, and I could see that viewpoint too.
Because I think also when somebody that's single sees a married couple, part of them that are really happy, part of them says, I really, really want that. But sometimes it's in a positive way, but most times it's not. Most times it's a sense of jealousy and envy that they, you know, I want that. Mm-hmm. I think it's human nature.
Okay. So do you have any other takeaways? Any other takeaways? I'm like, my takeaways. Let me think what mine are. Okay, I say, you know, really look at who your friends are and are they really supportive of the relationship, and what are they doing to like help y'all be together? Are they encouraging and do they not try to split y'all up by getting you to participate in man bashing conversations or getting you to dish or whatnot?
And also another takeaway is if you're having a disagreement or you're feeling uncomfortable with something, sit your husband down. And I think that men and women think so differently. You know, women were overly emotional and so forth, but explain how you're feeling, and you have to create that sense of safety, you know, with your husband, and just even if he's not very talkative, you know, bring that out in him, and then you can overcome just about anything together. But I think it's all about open communication. You know, I don't think guys should go out and talk to their buddies about their wife either.
And you know, I hate when the guys are like, you know, you're poo-tang whipped. You know that word that they use?
Yeah.
You know, like I hate that. It's like, what do you mean? Like, you know, like why would you say that? It's so like you know, like that's not.
But that's something that you hear men in their 20s, like mature men don't say that. Most, I think, a real man that keeps his word and appreciates
like a real married man.
Yeah.
They're all like, you know, we'll go through the wife and let's get the wives to hook everything up and. So what is your advice to the person out there that that might be newly in a relationship or whatnot, and they don't want to like let go of their friends, nor should they if they're like good friends.
And I'm not saying that you should.
How do they find like, you know, because they can't hang out all the time anymore because now there's there's another. So like, what would you do to maintain your singles friends relationship?
I think you can talk about anything. It's like if I'm out and someone says, ask me a question about my marriage, I'm very short with my answer. Everything's great, thanks. Boom. It's none of your business, and that's not.
And probably
you know?
they're not going to give the best advice anyway. I mean, you would have to look at their statistics, you know?
Exactly. But you talk about other things, and, you know, I'm all about girlfriends. I think some of the most valuable lessons I've learned in life has been from my girlfriends, the good, the bad, the ugly, all of it. So I'm not saying to cut all your girlfriends away at all, because those are some valuable, you know, and then I have two really wonderful girlfriends where I know that no matter what I'm going through, you know, especially if it's my time of the month and I'm super emotional about something else, like I know who I'm going to call and she's not going to judge and you know, and that's it. But also be weary of people that say, oh no, this stays between us, but then they're telling you everybody else's business. Chances are they're going to
talk about yours too.
Well. And so it's just you know, follow your instincts more than anything. And I think that some people come into your life for a short time. They teach you lessons. I'm so grateful for this friend of mine that I cut out for those 15 years, because she taught me so much about, you know, who to trust, who not to trust.
Interesting. Who to trust, who not to trust, and then all of a sudden you're not trusting.
Yeah. And you know what's really funny about that, on another note, is that her ex-boyfriend actually tried to get me to date him after they broke up, but she doesn't even know that. And I said to him, don't talk to me, don't call me. And then he had his assistant call my mother to ask, what do I need to buy her to convince her to date? My mom's like, oh, you're barking at the wrong tree. Katrina doesn't care about material things. And she's definitely not going to betray another woman. It's just not in her value system. And if she didn't even know that, you know? And so this is
that would probably make her more jealous. Don't let her know.
I never brought it up, but I'm like thinking to myself, God, if you only knew how loyal I really was to you, you know? It's sad, but...
You know, really quick, you just reminded me of something on the flip side of that. I remember back in the day, another guy, another love, like I had so many, right? Like, oh. But, you know, I had the issue with him, and I'd talk to my girlfriends because, like, I was like, what do I need to do to handle this problem? And so I'd talk to my girlfriends, and they, like, dissed on him all the time, this and this and this. Like, I mean, you would think, like, they were my girls, right? Well, I found out after I broke up with the guy that one of my that one girlfriend who was like, you know, diss, they went on a date. I was like, oh my God. Like, I had no idea that people could dish it out, and then if they had the opportunity, they would date them themselves.
It's so sad. And that goes back to the fact that, again, I think we have no morals or ethics anymore.
Anyway, I don't want this show to make it seem like you can't trust your girlfriends, because listen, I have girlfriends that I have had since elementary school that are my diehards. Like, I mean, we pick up the phone, doesn't matter where any of us live, we get together, we are tight.
But it's also like that. You've seen that movie, He's Not That Into You? You know how all the girls go to each other for advice, and the advice they give is like completely off. It's not what a guy would ever think or say. And so it also shows you, like, we're different creatures, you know? Men and women think completely differently.
Yeah. But
And
I
so-
wouldn't trade my girlfriends for the world. I need the girls in my life that are my girls.
The right
It's
ones.
just the right ones. And since I moved here to Miami, I'm trying to, open my sphere, and I think that's where I'm kind of going into a little situation where I want to be in, but I'm not quite in. And then once I am in, I'm like, oh, I'm not sure I really like it in, So that's how
That's
I'm
life.
navigating through being a woman in today's modern world. Anyway, anything else?
I would say that's it. Great topic, by the way.
I
Elena
know,
chose
fun.
this
I
topic
was like-
today. She sent me a message.
I
I'm like, I
thought-
love that one. Let's do that one.
I know. I thought for sure there was going to be some woman calling in, like, all irate, like, what do you mean? Like, dissing on the sisterhood? Like, I thought we were going to get some, get ready for a smackdown. But apparently other women out there agree with us.
Silence.
So they're like, I think I know what she means. But anyway, thanks for tuning in. As always, we love Dry Deluxe.
Yes.
They do great hair, makeup. They're down here in South Beach. If you ever need like a
$40 for a
$40.
blow dry.
I mean, who can beat that? I mean, you can't. They're like in the center of South Beach. Get it done before you go out and party. And let's see, Interiors by Stephen G. Loves our show, sponsors our show. So we'll give a shout out to them. And again, if you can join us for the 10X seminar, Cancun at the Hard Rock Cancun, it's going to be an awesome time. And you are watching Whatever It Takes Network. Women in Power. Make sure to comment and Instagram us, whatever, at Katrina Campins, at Elena Cardone. We'll see you next week.
New York Times bestselling author and self-made multimillionaire entrepreneur Grant Cardone has partnered with the Hard Rock Hotel to bring you 10X Your Life at the Hard Rock Hotel Cancun. Reward yourself as you play hard at this all-inclusive luxury experience, and you'll work hard participating in See Grant seminars live on November 14th and 15th. These unique seminars were created to help you learn to 10X your finances, 10X your social media, 10X your business, and 10X your life. Visit 10xseminar.com to book your 10X experience now. For rates starting at $463 per night for 3 nights. Seminars, meals, and beverages are included. Stop settling. 10X your finances, reach your dreams, 10X your business, and 10X your life. Take action and go to 10xseminar.com now to book your 10X experience at the Hard Rock Hotel Cancun.